Thank you for visiting the Innovation Lab. You're standing in front of the Electronic Blood Administration simulation. To experience the simulation and to learn from it, just start by clicking on the pink disc on the ground.
Connection established.
Clicking on the pink disc will result in a menu appearing on the upper right corner of your screen. Click on Scenario 1. When the red box appears over the pink disc, click on the red box. To display the scenario, click on the button Display.
Displaying scene.
You are now able to experience Scenario 1 of the Electronic Blood Administration simulation. Just walk inside to experience the simulation. To start, you're going to click on the nurse. When you click on the nurse, you will have started the simulation workflow. You get a little welcome message. You hit next on the menu. You're asked to keep an eye on the RFID scanner screen as you progress through your training. You hit next. You are now given instructions to experience the simulation. Notice the window says to start off, click on the transfusion verification icon on the scanner screen to log into the system. Click on the transfusion verification icon. This brings up a user login scene. Click Next. Notice the workflow basically walks you through what you're supposed to do in this scenario. Notice what the window states. Now enter your username and password. Type nurse training in the Second Life chat area found under the chat button. Do not type the quotations. So I'm going to bring up the chat area. In the nearby chat area, I'm going to type nurse training. Once I've typed nurse training, I hit enter. As soon as I do that, as you can see, the screen changes to login being successful. I can now move on to the next part of the workflow. I get a message saying I am now logged in. For this simulation scenario, we will assume you are scanned in, are ready to begin. However, in real life, the next step was to use the scanner to scan yourself and enter your password where the system confirms your login. The next part of the workflow asks you to verbally verify the details of the patient's name and date of birth. By doing this, you have started the simulation training. But notice, in order to do this in Second Life, all you have to do is click on the patient. You get a message on the lower left corner of your screen indicating that this patient's name is Paul and his birthday is March 21st, 1965. You click Next to keep going. Now that we verify the patient's information, we now have to click on the patient's wristband. The wristband is located on the patient's wrist. Clicking on the wristband changes what's on the screen in front of me. I can see that the wristband states that this person is Paul Bunyan and his date of birth is March 21st, 1965. The question in the workflow is asking if this is the correct patient based on verifying verbally with the patient earlier what his name and date of birth was. And obviously there is a match in this case, so we will hit yes. Now we're told that since the patient is verified, we have to scan the unit ID on the blood. The image in the front of me will tell me where the unit ID of the blood pouch is located. I am now told to walk over to the blood pouch near the patient, find the unit ID button and click it, and to see if it's a match. So I will now walk over to the blood pouch. Comparing where the unit ID is in the image and seeing it in the blood pouch, I know that the yellow button is where the unit ID is. I click on the yellow button. I get a message indicating the unit ID is a match. I can now answer this question saying yes. I'm now told to scan the product code, which is located over here, indicated by this image. So looking at the blood pouch in front of me, I now know that that's the green button. The message that comes up on the left-hand corner of my screen tells me that the product code is also a match. So the answer to this question is yes, it is a match. Now I'm told that 2 RNs should visually verify this match, and this nurse is telling me that she will now also verify. After hitting next, I get a message from the nurse indicating that she has also found it to be a match. I now hit next. I'm told that now that the 2 RNs have visually verified the match, we can begin the transfusion. But first we have to enter pre-transfusion vital signs. So I hit next. I'm told to enter pre-transfusion vital signs, we check the patient's temperature, pulse, respiration, and blood pressure. And I'm told to click on these items on the patient and to answer the question, are his vital signs good? So I'm going to go ahead and take a look at this patient. I'm going to click on the respiration, 24. Heart, 100 is the pulse rate. Temperature, 98.2. Blood pressure, 130/80. This tells me that his vital signs are good. So I'm going to hit yes. As you can see now, my instructor is telling me, good. We can now tap the begin button to start a transfusion, and she will press the begin button for me. So all I have to do is hit next. Now I get a message indicating that the transfusion has begun. The system will alert me to enter vital signs every 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, and 2 hours. The form to enter the information looks like what I see on the screen. I'm now told the transfusion is complete. I am asked to enter the post-transfusion vital signs and volume administered. To do this in Second Life, I have to type vitals good, volume administered, all in the Second Life chat area. So I'm going to bring up the chat area and I'm going to type exactly what it states. Once I enter that information, you'll notice the screen changes. And I can now hit next in my menu. I'm now told that since I've entered the post-transfusion vitals and volume administered, the transfusion report will be generated in the EHR, similar to what I see on the scanner screen now. I hit next. Now I'm told that in real life, if I were to view the blood transfusion report, I would have to click on EHR, chart review, labs, order, transfusion details, and the cross-reference button. And the report will look something similar to the screen in front of me. I hit next. I'm now told, congratulations, I have gone through the electronic blood administration scenario 1 training. I am asked to complete the other 4 scenarios, which is in the simulation. I click on buy. I'm told that I have finished the training. The screen goes back to the beginning screen, and the nurse goes back to click me to start. I have completed the electronic blood administration simulation scenario 1. I can now go back out of this area. I will click on the red cube and hit remove. I'm done with scenario 1. Once scenario 1 is removed, I can click on the red cube again and hit quit. I am quitting scenario 1.